All right, there's a quorum present, so we'll go ahead and proceed with the meeting. First thing I want to do is I do want to welcome Shane to the board. I think you'll enjoy working with everybody. I know you'll enjoy serving the children of Chester County. But at this time, we're going to go ahead and elect the chairman and vice chairman, so I'm going to turn that over to vice chairman at this time to take nomination.
Okay, at this time, the floor is open for nomination for chairman of the school board.
I nominate Roger Moore. I'll second.
Any other nominations? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Congratulations, Moore.
Thank you. All right, thank you, guys. All right, the next thing will be, we'll take nominations for vice chairman. I hear any nomination.
Nominate Clyde Bingham. I second.
Have a motion and second for Mr. Bingham. Any other nominations? If not, then all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Okay, congratulations again, Mr. Bingham. You're in charge of vice. Okay, the first thing on here is going to be the approval of the consent agenda.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and second to approve the consent agenda. Is there any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Okay, it is approved. The next thing on here is delegations, and I think this time would be a good time to welcome Ms. Freeze out to the meeting. We had gotten a letter from you about some things at Goodwin House, and all this, I'll kind of open it up to the board. Anybody got any questions or anything for Ms. Freeze at this time? Or if you'd like to make any comments?
I guess I was kind of curious if you had got a chance to read it and if you had any questions and make sure that it was clear that I was just looking to see for future if there's things that I see that need to be done, if you were okay with me coming to Mr. Kilzer and in his best interest making a decision, and that I only had it in my heart to do things that would better the property for the kids and for the property itself. So I didn't know if you had any questions about that.
Just talking about the parking, where were you wanting to do parking at?
Right now, it's kind of up in the air. I have lack of parking where I'm at now, and so I've been kind of holding off on what to do, and so taking on the extra space. I'll have children from both sides that may have parents in that I'll have children on both sides, and so I was trying to find something where I could have a drive-through from both properties where parents didn't have to go in. The one at the Goodwin property is a very, very skinny drive. It's almost too hard to get my van in there, let alone if you have an access of parents. So I was trying to find a way to do something, even possibly between the two with some parking in there somehow. I asked a professional, I asked J.C. Emerson, and my ideas weren't quite, which I knew that was gonna be. And he's trying to come up with some things, and he talked to Mr. Kilzer, and I think he's called some of the city people about cutting a drive in the middle to make something kind of go between the two, so I don't have to do in between there, but we're not really sure how to solve the problem yet and make it economically safe for me and still safe for the property to make it good, so.
You know,
I don't
really,
actually know how to do it yet, and he's not sure. He's talked to a couple people and he's waiting to hear
I don't
back.
think I really, personally, don't want to see any of the large trees removed.
Neither do I, because the shade is.
Well, that's what,
raised.
one of them said something about removal.
There was one large tree that was in question, but when I did talk to Mr. Emerson, he said that wouldn't
I mean-
even be necessary.
Because, I mean, you know, they add to the property,
Yes, I understand that.
in my opinion.
Yes, sir.
You were thinking about putting a drive, come in where you're at now and then come out at the
Well,
Goodwin house.
I gave him some ideas, and he said because of the water flow and stuff, he's gonna check on some things that it would wash away everything the way I thought of it. So he's got some things in order that he's looking at, possibly, he wants to talk to somebody about cutting the drive between the two, and maybe making it where they could come, like have a double drive right in the middle and do it to both drives so that they'd have a safe way in and be able to go out one way instead of, at the Goodwin property, it is so skinny.
Yeah.
If they're trying to get in and there is no parking there and then back out, then I could have a problem, an issue there. Whereas I have plenty of room on the other side, but there's no access to the other side at all. So, you know, he knows that the board has to agree to anything, and so he really can't go further, but he would look at the best interest, and then I guess, you know,
But if
he
you-
called me back this evening, and he said he knows that I have to talk to y'all, and then, you know, he would look in the best interest of he just didn't wanna get started on a project, and the school board say no, so all I was looking for was some details, so.
If they cut that curve too low, then it's gonna dump that water that's running down that curve into the property
Well, that's what
that we
he's-
don't want.
Right, that's what he's looking to not have happen. He's got to set some sites and everything else, but he knows he can't really go any further until, you know, he's looking at the best interest of the property. He told me right off the bat, my idea wasn't gonna work.
I don't think the
To be
city will
honest.
cut a curve like that in between property. Except just to the approved driveways.
Did you say JC is gonna talk to the city and see what they would do?
I think right now he's waiting to hear back from me. I called and never got a call back, and he actually called me just a little while ago, and he said, you just tell me what they say. He says, I wanna see, because the water drainage right now is not even sufficient as it is at the Goodwin property, because the, underneath the driveway and stuff is, if there's a culvert there, it's all clogged up. So there's not even any drainage there at all. So if, you know, he said that we can work on maybe trying to make just little parking there or whatever, but he knows he can't do anything without any permission. So I think he was afraid to go forward with anything, and I was afraid to go forward with anything without y'all knowing that it was of interest to add some parking somehow. So,
See, what I would like for you to do, JC is excellent, but Lance Bailey could come by and look at that
okay,
and could tell you exactly what you need.
all right,
He's a bulldozer operator, and nothing wrong with JC, he's excellent, but, Lance Bailey,
that's good, just in the phone book.
he's in the phone book.
Okay. And I actually had talked to Merle like twice. I called him out there and I said, could you please just give me some ideas? I said, because I can buy, and that was just when I was trying to get help at where I'm at. I said, I can go buy a bunch of gravel, but I don't know how to design a parking lot. I love kids and I can work with kids. I cannot design a parking lot for safety. And he said, J.C. Emerson, you call him. And that's why I called him. It was at the recommendation of Mr. Merle, because I honestly didn't know anybody in that type of work. So, but you said Lance Bailey.
Lance
And
Bailey.
just straight in the phone book.
Yes.
Wouldn't it be better to come off, you're gonna break that curve up closer to the East Chester Drive, and circle and come out at your drive?
To be honest with you, that's not my expertise. I would do anything I could to help the parents not collide and not run over each other. That's all my concern is taking care of the kids and them not. I have 2 older parents. I have a couple grandparents raising kids, several of them actually, and they've run over the stump. They've run over I've had gasoline leaks all over and I really am just concerned, to be honest with you. And I've got little flags set up, and I've stood out there for 3 days doing this, and I still have parents that will get mad at me because I say, can you please pull over there because I don't want your child. So I'm just looking for a way to make it safe for everybody. And that's it, you know, I really don't have any desire to change anything except for it's really not efficient. And so I know the good one's not gonna be efficient if mine that's way bigger is not.
You're gonna run like 2 separate schools then, is that right?
Well,
Different houses, it'd be,
there'll be different houses, but they're gonna be the same project. And what we have found is our older group has grown. So, the middle schoolers tend to think they're a little big, but they're starting to grow. And I've got a pretty large, so we'll probably put the older ones, the 4th through. I've even got volunteers in 7th grade that come and volunteer, mentor, and help with homework and stuff. And we'll offer our classes again that we used to offer, our cooking and art and drama and stuff like that, that we have stopped offering because we have no room for them now. So we'll put the older kids in that. So it'll be the same project, we'll just split the age groups so that there's more room. So, and you know, I've got some of the younger ones that are not comfortable being around some of the older ones, you know, that are new. So that's what we're looking to do, is just make more room for everybody. So especially times like fall break coming up. We can rotate real good, and we've done that great. We have 3 different Bible times. We have 5 homework teachers rotating all the time. We have different art times and everything. But when you come to the colder seasons and everybody's inside, the rotation's gonna get a little bit hairier for homework. There won't be as much concentration. And my older kids need a totally different
Is this parking lot, is this something that you're gonna be your expense?
Yeah, and to be honest with you, I may not have that expense yet, because right now, I need playground equipment that I need to get out there. And so that might be the first thing, I do not know, but I knew that I needed to get permission, and so I went to JC and said, just give me some ideas, I need to get some estimation, I need to start saving up, and I need to get permission from the board. So this is kind of the beginning of, help me.
Get some ideas
Yeah.
and then bring them to Mr. Kilzer, and then we
Well,
can make a
that's- yeah,
decision at
that's
that
what I-
time, because it's,
We get Lance Bailey.
Or,
Yes,
yeah.
sir. And that's what I tried to do, but I think they were both a little bit worried to tell me anything, because it hadn't even been brought to the board yet.
Yeah.
So, you know, and I definitely don't want to be in somebody else's territory I'm not supposed to. So,
but, get with Lance or
Yes, sir.
somebody,
okay,
get some ideas, bring them to Mr. Kilzer, and then he can get with us, and then we
Okay.
can
that sounds good.
go from there. But until we sort of know what you want to do, it's hard to
Right,
say, do it.
right. Well, I think the main thing was they were looking at the water and stuff
Yeah.
like that, but nobody wanted to go any further until y'all knew that there
I
was
guess
something.
Brent was here to be the one,
No, yeah, Brent, city.
yeah, for the city.
Did you notice anything about renovations on the inside? Are you okay with me coming to him about, some things happening on the inside? Giving a note, having a drawn up note like that, giving you specifics or anything like that, and there may not be anything for a while. I just know sometimes it takes a while to get to a board.
Before anything is changed, definitely come to
Definitely.
Mr. Kilzer, and then, like I say, he can get with us,
Yes, sir.
and we make a decision at that time if that's something that we, feel like putting her property or
Right.
whatever.
Is there any other questions?
I don't,
Now, you were wanting to leave that one building that's got the drive, which sort of park under the awning deal?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I was trying to,
Yes,
but
sir.
the ones in the back are the ones that you.
Yeah, and the only reason was visibility.
And the one that's not gone is the one metal one, yeah.
She
And I
has some
know-
product in it, right?
Yeah.
And I was actually given permission to get rid of the block building on the other side a long time ago because of visibility, because I have kids playing behind there and we had found snakes and different things back, and so we had to call the police and different things. But, I have not gotten rid of that yet, but I did want to bring that to your attention. Ms. Pippin had given that information to me, or actually, her and the maintenance, a long time ago. It's just, we've
Is
done
it
one
going
project at a
well?
time.
not bad, yeah.
It's not connected to anything or anything, it's just a, just
I'm
a.
trying to think of block buildings.
It's like a sheet of wood.
Yeah. Oh,
What
well,
was, when you said Miss Sherry, did you say you talked to Mr. Merle?
Yeah, and Ray. and
What
all
was
that
their
people.
conversation? I mean, what did they say?
They were fine with it. There were several
I mean,
things
were
that
they
they
gonna
came.
contribute? See, because Mr. Merle has done all the cleaning up behind the Goodwin property. I didn't know if he had made any commitments to you also for that.
No, I haven't, when I ask for anything, I'm not asking for, what has been done is a blessing to me. If y'all ever contribute anything, it's a blessing to me. But anytime I ask if I can do something, I fully know that that's on me.
I don't know if his tractor's heavy enough to move it. I don't know.
I don't see no problem tearing it down.
No, we didn't.
Well, now, he's got a front end loader. He can, just like he did with that shed, and not only tear it down, if he's got enough muster in that tractor to do it. I know he can haul it off, and that's what he did with that shed. He just broke it up and hauled it off. Didn't even bother burying it, which is better. He's hauled it to the dump.
Why don't you ask him if he thinks he can do that? That way we get it out of the way and get done with it.
I do have some cement in there and stuff that I would need to move, so if you do get it okay or a time on it, if you could give me a chance to get those 80-pound bags of cement into
Sure.
the one next door, that would be great. That way he doesn't get there ready to go and I have all that stuff in there. And I can move it as fast as tomorrow, I just need tomorrow.
Need to check and see if that water pipe's still in the ground.
There was one sticking up that I put a brick on for a long time because my kids would run into it and bruise their legs all up, and one year it finally just broke off.
Well, I
There's
thought-
nothing that goes to it. It's
Nothing in
all-
the block building in there?
Oh, in the block building, there's not been anything in there since I.
Is there no well motor or
No,
pipe?
sir. No, sir, it's just like.
Be
a
sure
shed.
to look, there's a piece of 2-inch pipe in there,
I'll,
be about 80 feet deep.
I'll look again, but we've kind of checked the whole thing out. I've used the shed and utilized it as much as possible. I didn't hide ant poison up in there because it can't be in the building and stuff, so I mean, I'm pretty familiar with it, but I will look again.
Check, see.
It would stick up through the ground?
Oh, yeah, it would be coming up out of the ground. It would probably be about flush with the ground, but
Okay,
if there is a pipe there, you need to stop it up with
okay,
concrete or something, you know, just
okay.
keep the drain.
I would love to keep the pad, because the kids, they have several games, they would love to have that little square concrete pad, four square, and different things that would be beneficial to them, so. But, and that's kind of the holdup, because I didn't want to tear anything up and not know what I was doing, so.
Sounds good to me.
Good. Thank you very much.
Thank you, I appreciate y'all's time.
You're welcome. Thank you. Any other delegations? All right, let's move along, let's see.
Number 5.
Okay, we need to approve.
Get the director.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, the policy that would give authority for director of overnight trips for school director to approve those.
I make a motion that we let people come to the superintendent, he do the approving.
We have a motion second for Troy to approve the trips. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Okay, approved. So you're in charge of approving those, sir? Thank
Yes,
you.
sir.
All right, the next thing, I think we have something added was for approval and tenure. So I'll let you cover that, Troy, if you look at.
Well, Sherry, of course, at the June meeting, had mentioned several teachers that were up for tenure. And she did, based on the notes, allude to this one teacher, Ms. Andy Peterson, that with the new tenure law would be up for tenure, available for tenure if she had 2 years worth of level 4, level 5 work. We were still waiting for the results. There was a delay in the results at that grade level. We have had the results since. She was a level 5 teacher. I provided you in your own packets evidence to show you where we base it on. And I'm recommending her for tenure based on that new tenure law requirement.
Make a motion to approve the tenure.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion second to approve tenure. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Please, as tenure. Okay, that was all that was actually on the agenda. Troy included a few things, just some explanations, some possible updates. Anybody have any questions for Troy or anything? No other questions?
Everything going pretty good, Troy? So is anything that we need to do?
Yes, sir.
Everything?
Well, let me ask you about the TSBA convention. Does anybody want to go to that?
I don't.
It's an option again. I know Sherry had last year at this time and made that option out again, if you wanted to go.
I wouldn't mind going if somebody else is going.
I thought, it's probably go.
Okay.
I think they're going like we don't pay anyone.
No, we got paid to take the next birthday of that.
When have we got till the 17th?
It's actually, Friday the 17th of October to make that decision.
We'll do that.
Well, that's your
Okay, right now we got 2.
Or it's still open.
Still open.
Well, we've got some time.
We've got, it's not until October the 17th that we have to give a deadline to
So
it.
y'all can be thinking about that. Anybody else? Can't you want to, Shane, you know, you say something about those?
I'll check on
Yeah.
Anything else, sir?
Everything's going well. Everything's going well to answer your question.
Good. Make a motion to adjourn.
Wait just a minute. I was just gonna ask about the sportsplex. Is everything pretty well?
Where we are as far as completion, I have not talked to Merle Merle, well, we are rekeying Sportsplex. And I talked to Mr. Matlock, who has been our go-to locksmith, and he has shared some inconsistencies with the types of lock sets that they put on some of the doors. So what we're doing is coming back with new lock sets that's gonna be, keyed with a master key that the people who need it, custodian, coaches, band directors, myself, maintenance, can have access to. Because right now, there's some keys that don't work.
Sportsplex.
To the Sportsplex, yes. We have not turned on the lights yet. There is a timer switch in with tennis courts that we can go back to the general contractor and get some training. But Merle and I said we could probably just go out there and look at it, figure it out. But it's set where, you know, at a certain hour, like at dusk, it will come on when you push the button, but it ends about 10 o'clock. So we're coordinating with the security, coordinating with other groups such as the tennis coaches. Actually, Heather Griffin is getting involved because of a grant that she had, that she's been working with for the Gene Record Park, and putting some signs up, talking about no smoking. It's a tobacco-free environment. So we're able to get some signs and add to those sign messages with messages we want for there, such as, you know, a dog-free environment, or at least if your dogs are here, make sure you keep them on a leash and clean up after. So we're able to add some messages, and Heather is willing to do that work with us. So,
Oh, there's one other thing I forgot to tell you. I think we do need to pursue recovering that money.
okay. Well, you saw what the initial cost would be for
How
the
much
investigation.
was it, the initial cost?
500 to $1,000.
But I
He
think,
just said it was ballpark.
I think we can also put,
Add that back.
add that back to it to be recovered also. That's what the attorney that night we were.
Well, that's the one who gave me this information, Chris Hayden.
Yeah, okay, I couldn't remember if
Yes,
that's it.
the young guy with
Yeah,
glasses is
yeah.
the one that was,
But I think we do need.
but I can talk to him tomorrow.
Yeah.
Want somebody in the board. So,
Everybody agree?
I'm agreeing.
okay.
Yeah.
Those chicks see what.
Okay. I'll do it.
What about the security out there at the Sportsplex? So they,
As far as, well, I think that, and we all talked about the fact that when we get the lights on, security will get better, because they're looking for dark places to kind of hide out. And we've had some requests by city cops to go through there and just kind of make that part of their routine. Well, Heather's been talking to her husband, Mark, to do that. But we all, in our conversation, felt like the lights being on a routine basis at night would help diminish some of that problem. And then, again, our night security guards, that's part of their routine, to go by and to make sure, like they did this summer, make sure it's locked up, to make sure things are shut down. So, but we don't have anybody devoted to the full time or to go over there.
I'm through there. I make a motion to adjourn now.
I second.
I had motion, second to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Get up, ladies,
That's right. I guess we adjourn.